As a child, I went to Sunday school, not with my family, but with the neighbors. And I really enjoyed that, but I lost touch with that as I grew up. And it wasn't until, maybe 4 years ago that I really came back to the church. And I kind of had one foot in both camps. I was doing church on Sunday and living my life, and sort of living life a little too fast sometimes. I was quite an active person. I skied, I was a competitive tennis player, and all of a sudden I just began having incredible fatigue, and I just almost couldn't get up in the morning, and I knew that something was really wrong with me. And it progressed very quickly. I was beginning to have difficulty walking. I was no longer able to go to work, and within a matter of 2 weeks I was actually paralyzed. One of the really surprising things with my illness was how quickly it progressed, but also their inability to really determine what was wrong with me. And I had several MRIs. I was hospitalized in the neuroscience ward at the hospital, and they eventually came up with a diagnosis that was an extremely rare form of an extremely rare condition. And it appeared quite hopeless. I was not expected to recover. When I was released from the hospital, I was unable to care for myself, and I went into a care facility. And I spiraled into despair because I just felt like, how could this be happening to me when I was so healthy and vibrant and active, and now I'm living in this controlled environment where other people are truly at the ends of their lives. And I had nowhere to reach but up at that point in time. I just knew that the only way to help myself was to reach out to God. My recovery actually happened over the course of a year, and I did have a series of blood transfusions that medically, that was how they felt that they would combat this condition. So I had over 20 blood transfusions. The whole process was so arduous and so frightening. But Pastor Brian Taylor came and visited me in where these procedures were done from time to time, and he would sit with me and pray with me, and it was really the hope and the belief that I would get better. And I feel that it was the blanket of prayer that covered me during that time that really inspired me to believe that I could get better. My learning how to walk again, that whole process lasted about a year, and I went from a wheelchair to a walker, from a walker to 2 canes, and from 2 canes to 1 cane. And every one of those progressions was a celebration. I always felt that I would be embarrassed to walk with canes, but no, it was a victory every time I made that next step. And so that lasted a year, and now my wellness has been for 2 years. So I think one of the biggest challenges has been believing that that is behind me. And so that was really the last piece of healing needed to occur in my mind, to really have that solid faith and solid belief that is behind me. I don't take a moment for granted any longer. I say thank you, God, so many times throughout the day. And it can be the simplest of things, like bending over to tie my shoes, or walking up a flight of stairs, being able to look after my little dog. There's nothing that I take for granted any longer with regards to my ability to walk and care for myself. My faith is so much more solid. Before it was a part-time journey. Now I really trust my life to God. I believe that He has plans for me and a hope and a future, and I just believe His word and know that He has been so active in my life, and I'm doing my very best to be faithful to Him in full gratitude for that.